Okay, I just want to get it on the record that I know the intro music is ass, um, but this is a little bit okay. So I'm already not being able to talk, and I'm really hoping that I don't make any edits to this. But if I go back and listen to myself and I just say something really stupid, or I really fumble over my words like I just did, then yeah, there's gonna be a cut, okay? But I know the intro music is ass and it's embarrassing, but I'm working on it, all right? So we're just gonna bypass that. It is kind of quirky though, I think. But, anyways, welcome to the very first episode of the Firewall Files, where this podcast, is about me, Firewall motherfucking Fox. I am a Twitch streamer, if you don't know me. Most of my socials are like Firewall Fox 100 because I'm not original and I guess somebody else already took that. I don't know. But I'm on like every social media platform you could think of because I'm a networking bitch. But yeah, I've been wanting to do this since like the first time I started streaming, to be honest, but the thought of doing this was just like in the back of my mind, and I'm doing it now. And a lot of people on stream really said they like listen to me yap. So I was like, what a better way to do it than in a podcast? And I hope in the future episodes I have a video as well, but I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. I'm truly just, not trying to jump the gun. Not putting more on my plate than I can eat. So I started this podcast because one, like I just said, people like to hear me yap, so I just thought I'd do it in a audio format, but also because I feel like I don't know, I I like sitting here and I like talking to myself. And I know I'm supposed to have structure with these things, but I probably won't. Like I have like a little bulletin point thing in front of me where it's like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. These are my talking points. Bitch, we're going off the fucking script always, every single time. It might start off very structured like it has, but I promise you by the end of it, the shit's going off the rails. So also as well, I have a Reddit community called Firewall Fox Official, where a lot of my community segments will be posted. I also post them on Instagram and the Discord. Those are my top three places for this type of thing. Um, and I want to do confessionals. So at the very end, I'm going to choose one confessional per episode, and we're going to listen to that confessional. We're going to mark that if they're sinful or not. We're gonna we're gonna come together as a group and find out if this person is sinned. And we're also gonna just talk about the weirdest, like, guys. So I put this out today. I put it out today on Instagram and on Reddit, and I said, hey, like, I'm doing confessionals. Like, tell me your craziest shit. Now, Reddit usually, I say it's anonymous on Reddit because if you're not using your real name, like, nobody's gonna know who you are. And I'm never gonna like say, hey, like, Firewall said this. Like, I'm not gonna do that. But on Instagram, nobody can see your replies but me. Okay? And when I tell you the things I've received in my DMs, insane. Like some of them I like cackled out loud because I was like, no fucking way. So keep those coming, even if I don't have like a post up, but just be like, hey, I want to add this to the confessional for the pod. And I'd be more than happy to do that. And they're making me cackle. So that's kind of the structure. Today I just want to like talk about me. As Toby Keith says, I want to talk about me. I want to talk about number one. So that's what we're doing. I mean, we're always going to talk about me. It's my podcast. But it's going to be kind of structured. So like future episodes, like it's going to be like the worst dates I've had, the weirdest, like cringiest shit I've done, things like that. And you guys can always let me know your stories because that would probably also go really well in the confessionals. I'm also hoping to have some interviews as well in the future. It's just gonna be like special episodes when that's the case. You'll know who it is. It'll say so and so with what. So you're not gonna be like, oh my God, what's going on? If you also are interested in reviewing, okay, didn't know I was at the damn Olympics. If you are also interested in listening to any of my streams, I do have a VOD page now, Firewall Fox VODs. I have a YouTube page as well. I'm just gonna sit here and plug it's the first episode. Like, what else am I gonna say? Because like this is the first episode. Also a little bit background about me. I've worked in IT for about 5 years now. Currently on the hiatus being a full-time streamer, but I have a great, somewhat, I'm gonna say great, but I know half the people that know me are gonna be like, the bitch is lying. The bitch is a liar and a cheat. But I have a good background in IT, mostly help desk. We'll get into some stories about those as well because literally I think everybody has something to share with the IT world when it comes to our bitching and moaning. And that's what I thrive in, is bitching and moaning in the kitchen of IT. With that being said, I want to do stories about my most embarrassing things. My most embarrassing like moments. Cause I feel like that's always a good what do they call that shit when you're like embarrassed to like talk? What is that, group worms? Oh, group worms. It's like you all sit in a circle at fucking boot camp. What am I saying? You all sit in a like circle at camp and they're like, tell us like one fun fact about you. So there's gonna be a lot of cuts in this, I can feel it. But I'll get better. It's a grow as we go type ordeal here today. So we're gonna talk about my most embarrassing moments. And I've always had this one in my back pocket when everybody was like, what's the most embarrassing thing? It's not the most embarrassing thing to happen to me, honestly. But when I tell the story, you would think, bitch, how are you not? But I've had a few variety of jobs over my life at the ripe age of 24. One of them being a 911 dispatcher. And it was a fun job. I was only there for like a couple months because like I was 19, okay? Bottom of the food chain there. And like obviously being a dispatcher is already hard work enough, but like the hours, like I would work like 12 to 12 or like 2 to 2. And then they want me to work Christmas, they want me to work Black Friday, they want me to work Easter, they want me to work my birthday. Girl, my birthday? Nah. And at 19, I'm not ready to give that kind of shit up yet. So I quit, but it did pay well. Oh, it's not embarrassing, but I'm not gonna get into that. That's a little weird. I saw some crazy shit at the jail. That's what I was gonna get into, but like I don't want to start my first episode off like wild yet. This is what I mean by we're gonna derail. So anyways, you have to go in for a drug test because I'm working for the county, aka the state. Like I'm obviously not gonna be able to do drugs. I did do drugs. Like I smoked a shit ton of weed at that time, but I just like got clean for that test. Let's make that clear. And I go into the bathroom of the office of the jail, and this woman's like, I have to watch you pee. And like, first, I've never had that either, okay? Like, I've never been, at this time, I've never been to a gynecologist. I've never like had somebody like watch me take my pants off, okay? And I'm like, all right. And I'm thinking like maybe she'll like turn around in the corner, give me some privacy. No, bitch wanted the full bada bing show. So I pull my pants down and I start peeing in the cup. She's locking eyes with me. I was like, could you could you at least stare in the mirror, like side eye me, you know? I understand why they're doing it. You know, they don't want me to slide some fake piss in there, drop something in there, I don't know. But I'm like, damn, the decency. So anyways, I take the drug test. And that's fine. That's not embarrassing besides like, I don't know, getting stared at. And so anyways, I get a call a week later and they say, hey, we need you to come in. And I'm like, oh shit, like come in. You just told me the results. I'm like, shit, did I like, and I'd been working out. I had taken drug tests at home that had passed. I was like, what the hell happened? So I go in there and they go, so the sheriff, we only have one sheriff in my town, by the way, one sheriff, little small town USA. The sheriff had to take my pee cup to the post office to ship off to the lab. So they go, hey, the sheriff took your pee cup. So they go, the sheriff took your pee cup to the post office. And it goes well. He drops it off. He comes back, whatever. A few days later, said sheriff gets a call from the post office and says, hey, so that test you dropped off, I don't, because mind you, it's in a box already. So they're like, hey, whatever you packed has spilt all over the mail. And I peed, all right? It wasn't no dribble. I filled that bitch to the brim because no one told me otherwise. And when I tell you these small town community Facebook posts, I got a message saying my mail won't be delivered, my mail's been ruined, I don't know what's going on. I had stopped all mail in my town because of piss contamination. Piss contamination. Uh, People were not getting their like bills because I pissed on them. I was pissing on the mail. Are you joking? Like, and it was like funny to the office staff and me, but like if that ever got like this was a scandal. What's going what's going on with the mail? Why? And like they're mad at the post office, and I don't know what the post office said. Probably nothing because it's the post office. But like, if I was known as piss girl in my town, I, I cry. I would have got out there faster than I already did. Like that's so embarrassing. I don't understand how that could be happening to me. So I took it again and it went fine, obviously. But the fact that Pissgate was such a Facebook phenomenon, um, internally I was dying. But I lived through that, and people thought it was funny. The people that knew, the bitches that didn't pay their bills that month definitely didn't find it funny. Could you imagine I like see a Facebook post and it's like, guys, my mail smells like urine this week. Do we know what's going on? Nah, that would have been insane actually. I would have jumped off a cliff. I like how the intro to this podcast is a story about me pissing on the mail. Like if that doesn't say who I am as a yapper, I really don't know what else. Well, if this is not a hooking podcast episode, then like the rest you guys can just click off of it now because there's nothing more you're gonna care to hear about at all. Like there's gonna be nothing. I don't this is like truly the most unhinged shit, and this is just scratching the surface. If you watch my streams, you know how it gets. But this is just me being mild, me being tame. Another one, this one's like really mild. This like doesn't affect me now. Like it's not something that keeps me awake, but at the time being 17 it did. I got invited to a friend's prom and she didn't have anyone to go with, so I went. And like I'm a very outgoing lady. I will put myself in the most awkward positions because I like that. So I went to her prom and I didn't know anybody. So I'm tearing up that dance floor because what are you gonna talk about me? I don't go to that school, bitch. And I go over to the wall to like sit. Not sit. Like I go over to the wall to take a breather because I'm popping ass on that dance floor. And I lean up against the wall and I turn the fucking lights on. Like they're in like a gym kind of thing. Not like a gym, but like a like a metal shack. I don't know. Not a shack. What do you guys call it? Like where you would keep your like farming equipment. This is so Indiana right now, bro. And then in like a I don't know. Anyways, it had a light switch on the wall. And I hit my back up against it and the lights turn on and I'm telling you it was like a movie scene. Like DJ stopped, like turned the music down. Everybody's like cuz they thought it was like an announcement or something was happening. And no, just little old me. And I literally like flipped the switch behind me and walked away. Like I put it back down and everything went back to normal. But you don't understand being 17 and almost ruining an entire prom, what that does to a person. Like that was that was that was so stupid. And at the time it was detrimental to my mental health, but it's not anything that keeps me up at night, that's for sure. Okay, I'll give one more because this is more if you're Catholic, this will kind of hit you. Um it keeps me up because of how cringe I was. I've since moved on. I'm a big believer of like you can have a religion, you just have to be a part of an org to be religious. So that's how I feel about it. And that's a good topic for another day. But if you know anything about Catholics, you're supposed to go to confession like I think you're supposed to go like twice a year, but most people like at least once. Because at least once because like hopefully you don't die in between confessions. And they were doing like this thing with my youth group where like you go to confession, go to adoration. Adoration's like this thing where you all sit in silence and the body of Christ is on the altar and you just sit there and reflect. And one at a time we'd all go into confession. And we didn't have the confessionals where you don't look at the priest. Like knee to knee with the fucking priest. So I'm already telling my sins in front of somebody, but also I'm looking them in the eye. Who the fuck does that? And so I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for my turn. I hate confession. I hated it. It made me I just hated it. Like, I didn't have anxiety as a child or a teenager, but if I did, it was that one time. I think I've only been to confession like 3 times in my life because I was like forced to do it. But, or like, I guess not forced, but more so like pressure being like, you'll feel better. And I'm thinking in my head, like, oh, this is like kind of like a free therapy, right? I'm gonna go talk to my therapist. So I'm sitting in there and I just start bawling because I start crying because when you're sitting in silence and adoration, you're getting in your head. You're thinking about every bad thing you've ever done and how guilty you are for it. And I just was not, I just got really into it, okay? I'm really in tune with my emotions, like, and I was beating the fuck out of myself over like the stupidest shit too. Like, it's so bad. But I go in there and I'm like, okay, I start bawling my eyes out over like, I don't go to church every Sunday. I don't enjoy church. I'm not really nice to my boyfriend was something I said. Like stuff like that. Literally the dumbest shit. Like nothing that I should be sobbing over. Anyways, I come out, I sit down. Days later, my friend goes, everybody in that church heard you crying. I'm sorry. I thought confession was quiet. I thought that was a soundproof room. Apparently fucking not. And that was the last time I went to confession. Because one, it already was awkward enough. But you're gonna break my trust with you can't all this fucking money tax free and you can't build a soundproof room? Are you joking? Are you joking? I was like so distraught. I was so fucked up, man. It ruined my Catholic experience for the rest of my life. And it doesn't like keep me up 100%, but sometimes I just think back and I was like, okay, so like 15 to 20 of my peers just heard me sobbing in confession because I didn't hear anybody else like that. Everybody was quiet. I'm like, and also they don't tell you what to confess, by the way. They're not like, just some simple things like you wish you prayed more or you wish you were a better daughter, whatever. I'm thinking I'm going in there and I'm letting loose. I'm telling them the tiniest minuscule things. Yeah, like I stole a pack of gum. I said something mean to my boyfriend. I yelled at my parents this week. I'm saying like, and I'm talking like deeper stuff too that I'm not getting into. But like shit that I wholeheartedly like in my soul was like, damn, this like I want to get it off my chest. And no, I don't know what other people confessed, but I know it wasn't on that level. They were just going in there being like, I wish I used my rosary more and I feel sinful for not. That was my biggest thing. Like, why don't I get like a little rule? I wish I chat GBT back in the day because I would have been like, chat, what do I say in confessionals? Like, what is the baseline? Like, how far do I really dig? And then what is it like the priest doesn't give a fuck about? But like, that priest gave a fuck. Do being a priest, there's like an iceberg to being like priest talk because like we know what's below the water that we all don't want to talk about. But like being a priest, the gossip, the gossip. You're hearing like Mary down the road had an affair with Sister Susan's husband. Damn. And you just have to sit there and not say anything? I'd go home and write entries. I'd probably go home and make a fucking book about it and then sell that book. Like anonymous confessions from the Catholic Church. That's a New York Best Time seller right there. That is gold. To just sit there, like, listen to all these people bitch. I mean, it's like a therapist, I guess. Without, like, the thing about the difference between a priest and a therapist in those sessions, though, the therapist will, like, help you maneuver those emotions, tell you, like, how it could be better, how you could, like, do this and that. With a priest, he just looks at you. He listens to everything. Like, I'll say one thing and it's silence. I'll say another thing, it's silence. And at the end, he's like, five Hail Marys. I'm like, that's it? I'm sitting out here bawling my damn eyes out and that's all you gotta give me? So like that kind of shit's just embarrassing. Like being a child in the Catholic Church is so hard. At least it was for me. Okay, so right now we're gonna get to the confessionals. I'm gonna make this a short episode because this is just the beginning. I just wanted to get this off my chest. I want to have the first episode ready to go. So we have that. I don't know how this is, if this was even entertaining, if you gave a two shits about what I said, um, or if you're like, wow, this is like, it will get better, I promise. I would say after, if you're not happy by I'd say between episode 3 and 5, you really hate this, like, I totally respect. Okay, so with the confessionals, once again, you can always go to my Reddit, Firewall Fox Official, and I usually have a thread for these confessions. I'll usually post one at least once a week on my Instagram. And a lot of people were like, how long can it be? I'm like, it can be literally a book, or it could be like 3 words. And today we're gonna read a little bit here from one of my followers, but I think it starts out, I think this is like a good banger. It starts off, "It was I who stole your Lego guy, Tanner. His cool knight armor, his treasure chest, I stole it. I could not help myself. This life of crime has all stemmed from that single moment, and I don't know if I can reasonably say that I am sorry. It was I that stole your Yu-Gi-Oh dog tag from Rite Aid when I was 6. It was Blue Eyes White Dragon. How could I resist? The pack was pre-opened. The tag was there for the taking. I felt so guilty that I buried the dog tag, dug it in a shallow grave with a towel in my sandbox. It is behind that house, which it shall lie forever, yet never be forgotten." Oh my god, this motherfucker stole a lot. "It was I who stole your Kingdom Hearts game from the PS2, CJ. When my sister broke up with you, I hid it while I collected your things. The air of tension, the aura which brought destroyed feelings. I was young, but your forgiveness as I had wedged my bike between your car tire and your fender was something I had never forgotten." What the fuck? "Yet here I stand, holding your copy of Kingdom Hearts to this very day. I even played it recently. This tale shows that no matter what you may do, bad things happen to good people. I didn't choose this background of crime, but it called to me in those fateful days. I still run from the law, even now." Wh- What the fuck? What like a little ass thief. And it's all like good shit. I know you guys would like it's the hang on, let me find it. It's the PS2 that I just like played the other day for me. I mean, like, at least you're getting use out of it, but like, damn, I know when you're putting that in, you're like, sorry, CJ, but I'm not, but kinda. Like, that is criminal. And the dog tag that you left buried in the yard. What the hell? This is this is the kind of shit I'm looking for, but I really am kind of at a loss for words because I don't have anything to say about that besides like who hurt you, I guess. But damn, what a great first submission for the pod. I'm impressed. Thank you for sharing. I would consider, you know, is do we are we going to forgive or condemn? I think we can forgive. The way it was wrote, beautiful, beautiful eulogy to each item that was ever fucking stolen. You wedging your bike tire between his, like, that is like some evil like 8-year-old shit. You're like, let me do this. I know it'll fuck it up. I understand, but I don't know. There was just some grace in that I feel like, you still honor the game. You still think about the card. You still obviously have a lot of these stories on your mind. So I'm gonna forgive because that's gonna live with you forever. I don't think it should be considered a sin at the moment. I think you have been blessed. All right, so that is the very first episode of the Firewall Files, and I'm very thankful if you've listened to this entire episode. Please let me know how you feel about this. If it is something that you guys enjoyed, if there's something I could do better, I'm not opposed to criticism. It's actually my favorite thing. So please let me know if this was ass. And like I said, I will be working on my intro and outro music better, but I kind of like it. It's kind of poppy. It's kind of, But I had a good time. I can't wait to. This is gonna have edits. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want no edits. This is gonna have edits. But we'll get there. So thank you so much. Please follow me on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Firewall Fox, Firewall Fox 100. And I hope you guys come around for next week as we have new topics and more derailment. We're starting off the year with a bang, new content, new Fox, and I'm really excited to see what this year brings. I hope it's a clean slate for everybody. I hope everybody's been happy and healthy this season. I hope the wallets are full afterwards. And I hope the ticket queues are low, as I always say. So I will see you guys next week.